Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and today it is time for a viewer-submitted game of StarCraft 2. Today it's time for a Platinum League match of Zerg versus Zerg. Spawning here in the bottom right-hand corner of Acropolis and playing with the blue Zerg drones, we have none other than Maxime. And his opponent, playing with the red Zerg drones in the opposite corner of the map. Way too cool to send out that first Overlord, because who needs scouting information? Let's go for like a 14 hatchery, you know? Why not? His opponent goes by the name of Swan T. Alright, now for those of you unfamiliar, I casted a game last week, also a 1 versus 1 of a viewer-submitted game between two Platinum League players, and honestly, that game was close to painful to watch. In case you missed it, I'll go ahead and post a link to it right now in the top right-hand corner of the screen with that little eye icon. So that way you can check it out as well if you want to cringe together with me. But be prepared, okay? I might very well end up shouting at these two players for just a little bit, just because I guess that's my job. I know Winter has a series called Angry Coaching. That game very quickly turned into Lowko's Angry Coaching, okay? Ay. One of the things that I always really hammer on. By the way, what exactly is Maxime doing? Hold up. Wait, he went for a pool first, then a gas geyser, now a second gas? He's gonna have 100 gas here in just a little bit, but that second gas geyser kind of throws me off. I mean, one base play with a quick spawning pool, definitely very common in Platinum League. Especially on the European server. I notice a lot of people that I coach always bring up that apparently on the European server there's a lot of Zergling cheeses. He goes right now for a spike core. I guess this is gonna be a really quick lair play. That's the only thing that I can imagine would be half decent here. He went for the queen immediately. So spawning pool really quickly right here to get the queen out. Maybe right now a tumor to wall at the top of that ramp, but he needs to set up the lair. Come on, mate. You have 200 gas. You haven't spent anything. There you go. Okay, finally. Anyways, so generally speaking, right, I start shouting at the players when I realize there is so much room for potential. One of the things that you can easily improve on when you first start playing StarCraft 2, right? And these guys are in Platinum League, so they've probably been playing for a little bit of time. The easiest thing you can ever do is just pick a build order that one of the pros plays and just stick with it. Ideally, a build order that's considered to be quote-unquote standard. And I can definitely point you in the right direction. I mean, I cast a lot of games and I try and mention it whenever a player is going for a quote-unquote standard build. But just pick a build and then stick with it and practice it 100 times. I can guarantee you, if either of these two players would go ahead and do so, they would be significantly better. Come on, hit that queen eject. Come on, mate. Hit that queen eject. There you go. A couple of larva idle as well. He's also going to go for a relatively quick lair. Now, also that roach warren coming up. But I think the camera right now needs to be on Maxime. So he's gonna go for a quick lair. I've actually done a couple of quick lair builds as well, and they're actually surprisingly strong. If you go for like one base lurker Nidus worm, it's a really stupid build that can actually work surprisingly well, because oftentimes you can catch your opponent with absolutely no detection. Now he's spread a little bit of creep. A couple of Zerglings right now from Swan made their way across the map as well. He's a confused mech pilot, I suppose. He's supposed to be a mech player right now. He's looking around. He's like, hey, you have a lair already? I guess he's right now looking for maybe a spire or any kind of tech structure here whatsoever. Luckily for Maxime, he's been extremely slow. And he's gonna go for a wall off right now with an infestation pit, a Nidus worm, as well as a spine crawler. Alright, so we have a 3.5 minute infestation pit Nidus network coming up. You know what? This is actually kind of functioning like a bunker, right? I mean, technically speaking, you could put units in and then pop them out on the other side. So you can create a full wall off while your opponent is not going to be able to enter, but you can still, you know, send units into the Nidus worm and then bring them out on the other side. But anyways, he's going to go for a really quick... I guess this has to be Swarm Host Nidus? Yeah. Okay, he's got 3 Swarm Hosts coming up right now. Generally speaking, Swarm Host Nidus can actually be quite potent. It's actually a build order that can win you some games. It's just really quite easy to deal with as well if your opponent recognizes it in time. Now, Swan T right here, he's been doing an excellent job scouting around. He's got a couple of spine crawlers right now coming up at the front. He's going for the roach speed upgrade. We see overload speed actually coming up for Maxime, so I guess he's trying to indeed put those worms down in locations that are going to be hard to scout. He already has another overlord right over here to send the locust, I think, into that main base, but here we go. He's going to put down the first Nidus worm right outside of the... Well, I mean, Swan! It's literally in vision of your overlord, mate! All right, well, luckily, this is only a very small hit squad. He's gonna certainly need a lot more swarm hosts if he wants... No, one of them is gonna die? Okay, no. That will be bad, Loko. That will be really bad. Anyways, Loko is obviously some of the highest DPS in the game, but you do kind of need to target fire with them. Even those small groups of Locusts, though, almost end up killing the Spinecrawler. It starts burning right here because of that beautiful skin that the Zerg units here have. Anyway, so he's gonna go for Mass Nidus with the Swarm Hosts. Now, already, you can see right here, Swan T is playing this game in full panic mode, right? Look at the amount of resources that he's got right now. He's got a very solid economy, and I actually think he has been making all the right moves. He's just not entirely sure how he's supposed to deal with this. Goes for the for the hatchery inside of the main base. I actually don't mind that idea. But there we go. Once again, the Locusts move forward, and they're going to be able to start picking this player apart really quite quickly. There's a lot of damage that these Locusts can deal. And obviously, Roaches can technically deal with them as well, but keep in mind, you're trading free units here in the sense of these Locusts versus units that do cost money. So right there, they managed to get a couple of Zerg, a couple of Roaches, I think a Queen, and then also those 2 Spinecrawlers. That's actually a really nice trade. At the same time, the Locust now also flew from that newly acquired Nidus Worm into the main base, and they're gonna go to town right here on some of those structures. So what do you want to do if you're Swan T, right? What do you exactly want to do at this point in the game if you are the player in red? I think expanding all over the place, very good idea. Ideally, obviously, though, you want to try and see if you can kill these Nidus Worms. Like, it's literally that right... Come on, Swan! What are you doing, mate? Oh my god. So he's splitting up his units, which is nice and all, but this is still a very expensive set of... What are those Locusts doing? Oh, okay, I guess he all army hotkeeyed them. It's a little bit rough. But anyways, if you have vision, right, of what's going on, you may as well try and see if you can pick them up. Now, look at this cost efficiency, okay? You ready? Hold up. Let me watch these Locusts get picked off first. Look at this. 0 minerals and 0 gas lost right now for Maxim. Now, obviously, you gotta keep in mind, the man doesn't have an expansion. I really think he could have picked that one up, actually, a little while ago. I mean, he could certainly build up, like, 7 Spinecrawlers over here and just make a hatchery and then continue playing from there. He would be in a phenomenal spot. But he's gonna be able to continuously send in these waves of Locusts. And the Swarm House count seems to be going up. Okay, so the question is, how exactly could Swan go ahead and deal with it? So the first step to dealing with this, once again, another kill right there, is killing those Nidus Worms. Right? I mean, he has vision of it, but he's in a little bit of panic mode. He's trying to make the best of a really tricky scenario. He's expending, he's trying to spend his money decently well, but he doesn't have that much when it comes to the gas count. I think, though, when you're in these kind of scenarios, right, you're going up against a 1-base Zerg, and you're playing 2-3 bases yourself, you can 100% go for a Spire. Right? I mean, normally, I know a lot of people always recommend making Spire units whenever you go into Zerg versus Zerg and you're going up against Roaches. Usually, there's this weird misconception that Mutas are a good unit against Roaches. Generally speaking, I really disagree. I usually think that Roaches just simply overwhelm the Zerg player that's going Mutas if you play them well and you make a sufficient amount, right? Like 7 Mutalisks are gonna take about 7.5 years to try and kill all of those Roaches, and the Roaches obviously at that point can just simply move across the map and kill everything. But I think if you're going up against a 1-base Zerg, going for the Nidus Worm, or you know, if that Zerg is going for the Nidus Worm, be it Lurkers, be it Swarm House, be it whatever, you can 100% go ahead and counter it by playing with those other units. Anyways, the Locusts were ready to move into the main base, I think, once again, but they're needed at home. There we go. Nice set of corrosive balls trying to pick up that Nidus network. He's got a lot of minerals. I think he really should go ahead and just add on a bunch more Spinecrawlers here defensively, or at the very least try and get something. Why is he not killing that? How is that still up? How is this worm still here? Swan! Swan, wake up, mate!
Our drones are under attack.
Yeah, our drones are under attack, says Tasteless, but the issue right here is that hatchery is gonna fall, and this cost efficiency right here is becoming ridiculous. Look at that! Near 4,500 resources lost here for the player in red, whereas only about 1,500 resources are lost for the player in blue. The main issue here is that he doesn't have an expansion. If he would have an expansion right now and he would follow it up with, like, well, anything else, he's going for a second Nidus Worm? I don't know if that's the follow-up that I meant, but I mean, there certainly is some potential there as well. Going for a second Nidus Worm obviously can be quite good. He's got transfuses. Go ahead, transfuse it. No? Okay, no, don't do it then. If you don't want to do a transfuse, that's all good. You know what would be the sickest move right now? Putting up like a Nidus Worm over here and then sandwiching this Roach army with the Locust when they're pushing up the ramp. Right? Because right now they can just leave as soon as they see the Locust fly in. That would be the sickest 200 IQ move. Not going to be the case here. So I think Spire would be a great choice. I think killing these Nidus Worms would be a great choice as well. And obviously going after the network can really help too. The thing is though, like brute forcing your way into a 1-base Zerg, very difficult. This should never work. This should never work if Mr. Maxime is paying attention. Once again, he's losing so much more. And these Locust Waves, man, they are lethal. He's now also successfully splitting up the Nidus. Or rather the Locust. So that's going to allow him to both harass and then defend at the same time. They send in their wave of Locust and then they go back into the main base. I like it. Now there's a hatchery going up here in a pretty tricky spot to scout. Maxime not very likely to check out that corner of the map. I mean, he probably did not notice the drone leave. Once again, though, another hatchery right here falls. I guess it's going to try and see maybe if it can start mining from the base over here. But Swan T really trying to just play Roaches and Ravagers. And I don't think those are going to be the units that he can really win the game with. Now, I think it's top priority here, right? For the player in red to prevent this Zerg player in blue from expanding. He really needs to make sure that the player in blue does not expand. He needs to kill the Nidus Worms, he needs to get a counter going to those Locusts, and he needs to make sure that the Zerg in blue does not expand. Judging by this Spinecrawler wall, though, I don't even know if the player in blue ever plans on expanding. I mean, he's going for what seems to be like, you know, we saw this a lot in StarCraft 1. Like turret rings. Pretty good. I mean, he's going for... Why is he going for... Alright, he's going for Pathogen Glands, which is the upgrade for the Infestor Energy. Always nice, obviously, but still making drones. He's trying to play a very standard style, but he's got about 1 million resources in the bank. He's not getting himself any additional gases here either, so he's really just trying to probably brute force his way in. Honestly, though, like, luckily here for Swan, he's not getting sandwiched here. If a couple of Locust Waves came in... What is that? No, he activated all of them? Oh, dude. Just box of, like... Literally, four Swarm modes would have achieved the exact same thing. Unless he stands and fights. Unless he stands and fights, then it's gonna be just fine. Alright. Another idea here is for Maxime to just get an Overlord and right-click it on top of these Roaches and Ravagers. That would not be a bad idea. Just follow them around, see where they go. Anyways, this Nidus Worm, man, that one is just eternal right now. Even the drones are gonna evacuate right next to it. I'm hoping that Maxime pays attention. I mean, he just unloaded the Swarm host here, so he should have noticed that, right? He really should have noticed that. All right, once again. Then the Swarm host pop back into the hatchery. Or rather, into that worm. And while they don't go after the hatchery here, I think they can. Yeah, just go ahead. Pick it up, dude. Pick it up. There you go. Look at the Locust DPS, man. It always astounds me. I used to think that they wouldn't be able to kill any bases. Nope, turns out they kill bases in, like, a matter of seconds. That was a pretty, once again, very expensive loss there for Swan. He's got this newly acquired hatchery, which somehow, some way, slipped the attention of Maxime. I don't know how he missed that, especially with Overlord speed, right? There should be something to kill. And there you go, Swan. Well done, mate. You killed it. It only sent in about 17 waves of Locusts, but you did it, mate. Well done. Well done. That's what I want to see. Now, Swan, you could actually kill that with drones, probably, if you hit this around on it immediately. I don't know how it works out. Anyways, he's got a whole bunch of drones just simply hanging out. There's a new worm that just came out, but there you go, Maxime. Good work. So Maxime did indeed go ahead and send in that Overlord to scout around the map. He may have noticed those drones that were trying to leave, but the thing is, right, these Roaches and Ravagers, they're just not gonna be enough, right? They're just not gonna be able to keep track of everything that's going on. Just send a couple of that way, and you're gonna absolutely smash all of this. Oh my god, that's a nice move right there. Just kill the hatchery. Just kill the hatchery. There you go. Only activating a couple of them. Still has a whole bunch of the Locusts available as well. Doesn't need all of them because, well, these amount of Locusts will already achieve everything. 2 hatcheries get picked off. A whole lot of drones get killed as well. And by the time that these Roaches and Ravagers arrive, guess what? The Swarm hosts are gone, and once again, a couple of Roaches will find their grave right over here as well. Why is he not going Mutalisk? Why did he go for an Infestation Pit? I mean, there's a lot of options that you have right now, but I think flying options are always great, right? There you go. Ooh, he's getting a little bit cheeky right now as well, right? He's like, okay, you know what? I know you've got another hatchery. I'll just send in just enough. No need to get too aggressive here. No need to get all too carried away. I just send in just enough to kill the hatchery. Beautiful move there by Maxine. Now, the only issue here that he doesn't have an expansion, right? So this main base, I mean, we're 15 minutes into the game right now. A lot of those mineral patches are being picked off. He keeps wasting it. No! Why would you move to... Oh my... Okay. Why would you morph in the Ravages right over there? Okay, I see. Okay, good. The only issue right now that I see here is that he doesn't have an expansion, and he also doesn't have any follow-up, right? So his win condition right now, for the player in blue, right, is to just send in 1,000,000 locusts, and then hope his opponent rolls over and dies. I don't know if that's a very good win condition, because if there's one thing that Swan is doing really well here is making drones, right? He's expanding continuously. He's not getting into that position where he's forced to go for an all-in. I don't agree with his Roach Ravager style. I think it's really bad in this scenario. I mean, a couple would have been nice to try and pick up all of these worms, but moving them around in one big ball really doesn't achieve anything. If you would have, like, I don't know, if you have, like, 5 roaches patrolling back and forth over here, 5 roaches patrolling back and forth over here, 5 over here, then obviously, I like the idea of going for roaches, but moving them all across the map, and then back home, and then all across the map again, and then all back home, that's not a very tactical way of playing. Maxime, though, is still flying around with his overlords, trying to be as annoying as he possibly can be. The worms are going up everywhere. It's a big set of locusts once again moving in. I actually don't mind even seeing a worm right now inside of the main base. This hatchery will surely end up falling as well, and this is really starting to hurt. Dude, this is the most cost-efficient Zerg army I've ever seen. Look at that. He's lost about 10% of the resources that his opponent lost. That's insane. He needs to be careful, though. He's getting to the point where it takes so freaking long to unload all of these locusts. Or all of these swarmos, rather, that he needs to be careful he doesn't just lose them. But once again, a ton of roaches end up falling here. And by the time that, I guess, the changeling force field will come into effect, the swarm hosts are long gone once again as well. So let's think about this, right? Why did he never expand? Maxime, you got 2,200 resources in the bank. Are you really... Oh, please don't tell me this is going to be one of those games where Maxime is incredibly far ahead and then he just never expands. I know I've been shouting at Swan here for a really long time. But even though he's been trading absolutely terribly, he's been mining significantly more than his opponent, right? And at some point, Maxime is going to need another base. Like, look at this. Everything is mined out. He's got no mining. He's making more swarm hosts. I mean, I don't mind adding on more swarm hosts. Once again, I think it's a really good idea. But I would really love to see him just take 17 bases, right? Just take as many hatcheries as you can. Put down a bunch of spine crawlers right over here, right? Take this base at the very least, and then go from there. Now, the main base is in shambles right now. Swan is finding himself without a main. He's been cautiously rebuilding basically everywhere. What kind of structures does he have at this point? He's got a swarm, or he's got a... doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a roach warren, he doesn't have a spawning pool. He doesn't realize that he doesn't have a spawning pool. I mean, he hasn't really been spending his money either, but he's got way more money to play with. Oh my god, guys. I'm starting to get a little bit worried, right? So I would have 100% put Maxime right here in the winning spot if he was mining. Since he's not mining, and he's only losing units here and there, and his opponent is mining, this income discrepancy is gonna get huge. I mean, it's already been huge. Imagine if you would have had a second base, right? Imagine if you would have had a second base, a row of spine crawlers right over here, double gas taken, and a spire. That would have been a game changer, right? He could have had complete control of this game, even more so than he does already. Now, once again, right, the Niduses are going up, but the amount of gas that he has is going down. He only has money right now to put down 3 more Nidus worms. That's it. He has no more option other than those 3 more Nidus worms. Yeah, he's trading extremely cost efficiently. And once again, the roaches are going to be late to the party because they're being all army hotkeyed. Swan, by the way, oh my... Swan, why in the world do you have like 7,500 resources in the bank, but you only have 91 supply? What's going on? Why do you not make a spawning pool, by the way? You do realize you can make a new spawning pool, right? It's like he wants to go all in really badly as well. There you go. Finally, he starts up making a new one. All right, there we go. That is 2 Nidus worms remaining. Still no mining here on the side of Maxime. Oh my god. Are you gonna tell me? Okay, please. I know Swan has been playing this pretty terribly, right? But he's been doing a good job getting himself more money. Please don't tell me this is gonna be Maxime losing this game just because he refuses to expend. How stupid is... Like, that would be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is the most cost-efficient Zerg army I've seen in StarCraft 2 ever. Yet it's also the dumbest composition I've ever seen at the same time. Alright, well, here we go. Big Locust wave. Making it... Oh my god, don't fight that with the roaches! Those roaches are gonna die. Those roaches are gonna die. Don't fight that with the roaches! Why would you fight that with the roaches? Oh, Swan just lost, like, basically all of his units. Oh, don't... Oh my... Oh, god. Oh, well, I guess he still has a couple of those roaches underneath. Why do you not have an expansion, Maxime? You guys can't see, but I'm face palming in real life right now. Why do you refuse to make expansions? I don't understand. You got nothing else to do. What's the APM so far? There's nothing going on, Maxime. You're clicking, like... What is this? 14 or once every 4 seconds you make one click. Oh my god, well, another wave of locusts move in. That's a big wave of locusts, though. A really big wave of locusts. They're gonna be able to kill the hatchery. Look at Swan. Swan's like, okay, you know what? You don't have expansions because I can scout every single possible expansion that you have by putting a base in every possible expansion that you could have. 10 hatcheries are coming up right now for the player in red. Not taking a natural, though, because that's scary. Okay, he's gonna try and maybe... Wait! Whoa, Maxime! Maxime, you absolute mad lad! Did you just make an expansion, dude? Oh my god, I don't know what to say. Incredible. So this is actually quite clever, because Swan right now, he knows that his opponent can't be everywhere at once. He knows his opponent's win condition was for him to move over and just die. And that's never really happened. There's Overlords scouting around everywhere. This is Maxime's vision. He knows about all of these bases. A Roach Warren is coming up right now. A couple of Spine Crawlers. I don't know what these... What are these Spine Crawlers doing here? That's... What is the idea behind these Spine Crawlers? What are they gonna do? Just stand there and look pretty? I know I'm shouting at your miss macro, but... Putting down, like, useless structures doesn't really achieve very much either, right? Like, these Locusts are gonna be able to easily get rid of this. So I think Maxime's win condition right here was to cross his fingers and hope his opponent would leave. I don't know if I agree with that win condition. I think it's a pretty bad idea. These Locusts trying their very best to get something done. This hatchery certainly will end up falling. There's a bunch of queens coming up. More drones. Swan. Swan, please kill their base. Do you have any units, actually? Hold up. He's got 3 roaches because they were burrowed and 1 ravager. The spawning pool is burning down once again. He does have a roach warren that is on creep. So that's quite nice. The Locusts are gonna try... Dude, don't tell me Swan actually loses this. I know I was really... He should never lose... What? You made it a base! You made a base! Why would you... Maxime! Oh, God, dude. Oh. This is... painful. There's 1 queen here for Maxime. That one's got full energy. It went across the map, got 4 kills. Now it's just hanging out over here. I guess the swarm hosts are gonna continue waddling around. There's 5 queens coming up. He's making spine crawlers. Why is he making spine crawlers? What are the spine crawlers gonna do against free units? Really though, like, what would he have done, right? What would Maxime have done if there were 5 Mutalisks? And keep in mind, he could have probably made about 50 Mutalisks at this point in the game, right? If he wasn't trading about 1 million gas for everything that completely is not achieving anything, and if he was actually mining a little bit more gas than only minerals. What exactly would this game have looked like? Well, I can tell you, it would have been a very straightforward victory for Swan. But Swan, dead set in his ways. He's like, you know what? I was gonna go Roaches and Ravagers, and I'm gonna go for Roaches and Ravagers, dang it! I'm a stubborn Zerg player. Telling me there's other units than Roaches and Ravagers? I don't believe it. He also made a pathogen lens, right? He also did go for the what are they called? The infestor upgrade. And he didn't make any infestors to follow up. I don't think infestors would have really done anything. Anyways, obviously the reason for that is that Maxime is playing this entire game in full panic mode, trying to make something of a really bad scenario. The thing is though, I still don't actually know who wins in this really like dumb game. I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but it's also really stupid. I don't know. Yo, Swan, so you got yourself bases back again, right? You got 4,500 or so gas in the bank. What about a Spire? I know I'm saying crazy things because it's not Roaches and Ravagers. But what about a Spire? What are these Locusts gonna do? What is that Locust set gonna do? Where are you gonna fly? Are these escorting Locusts where he's trying to like create a bit of an escort for his swarm hosts so they're safe? We're not gonna die by the time they arrive to that. Dude, guys! He's doing it! He's doing it! He knows about a new structure! Although he put it in the base that's most likely to be attacked next! Ay, 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 ay. Oh my god. Yeah, get the Spire, dude. He doesn't deserve a Spire. Kill that Spire. Yo, Maxime, there's a Spire. Kill that Spire, please. He doesn't deserve the Spire anymore. He's had his opportunity to go for a Spire. He does not deserve one. Ooh, they still managed to get the kill right there on the lair too. Still though, you know what? The Spire does get built before that lair dies. There's gonna be an Overlord that will scout that out in just a second, but all of the swarm hosts are right over here. He's only activating about half of the Locust at once, which means he should be able to once again start up another Locust wave that's gonna move over to the top right-hand corner. Now you gotta kill him. Maxime, I was cheering for Swan here for a little bit after cheering for you in the early game. Right now I'm getting to the point where I don't think Swan deserves it to win anymore, man. Like, there's a certain IQ that you need, right, in order to win a game like this. And if you have less than 20, I don't... I don't know if you deserve to win anymore. Oh my god. Okay, alright. The Spire is close to finishing. He's got about 1 million larvae saved up. 24 larvae are saved up. I've been shouting for Mutas for... What are these spines gonna do? You do realize the Locusts are already here, right? You gotta kill that Spire before it finishes, though. You gotta kill that... Yeah, no, yeah, okay. Oh, no, Maxime! Well, if you have... Oh my god. No, don't make drones! Why would you make drones right now? What is your idea behind these drones? What are you gonna do with them? Eat them for breakfast? Like, what is the idea behind those? You gotta... No, you don't need those! You don't need a spawning pool and a lair either. You got a Spire! You got a spawning pool! Alright, and apparently Maxime thought, you know what? It's 27 minutes into the game. I'm gonna go for Zergling speed. What is even... Okay, guys, making a call. I think we need an IQ test before you can do your StarCraft 2 ladder placement games. If you have less than 5, you're... You shouldn't be allowed on the ladder. This is an embarrassment. For both players. Oh my god. Am I turning into a jerk? I feel like I'm turning more and more into a jerk. Oh my god. Maybe I am a jerk. He's got a Spire. Please make Mutalisks. Swan, there's nothing that shoots up for Maxime. He's got, well, he's got 2 queens. Okay, I stand corrected. But you got so much gas. You got so much larva. You can make... You've got all the larva here. Like, you can make anything. Swan is being whittled down. Why do you not make Mutalisks? I don't understand. I thought you were smart for a little bit, but now the Spire is off creep, which means that it starts bleeding out. Or I guess with this skin set, he starts burning down, but... Oh, the stress levels got too high. Swan has been playing this entire game with a heartbeat that never went below 200. Then at some point, it got too much. She's like, you know what? I just leave. I just leave. This was a disaster of a game, and I absolutely loved it. If you also want me to make fun of your game, feel free to submit it to replays at LowkoTV. I'm especially a big fan of these really stupid strategies, but please be prepared that it kind of hurts to watch. And yeah, I will probably shout at you for a little bit, okay? It's all in good-natured humor, though. It's just... the contrast, right? Like, I post so many pro games. I post so many pro games where we see pro gamers making a point of the smallest minute details, from like creep tumor placement to like overlord positioning to microing their last 2 marines perfectly. Remember that game I casted recently? I think it was Special versus Mana. A ridiculous game where it comes down to the last 2 marines that are microed perfectly inside of a medivac. Alright, so I had to have a final look. At the cost of about 3,500 resources, The swarmost army in this game ended up killing a little over 31,000 worth. That's insane. Now, I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you once again in the next one.